I was just listening to Longer by Dan Fogelberg. Gave me goosebumps, almost made me cry. And then Ain't No Place for a Country Boy came on. Chris Ledoux. I love this tune. To be, it might be fine for a city boy, but it ain't no place for me. I didn't even bother to pack the clothes I bought. Some bed maybe paid me $10 for Grandpa's pocket watch. Good tune, man. Beautiful song. It's just showing what's good for him and where he needs to be. It's a good song. He's not saying it might. He doesn't say it's horrible. He just said it might be fine for a city boy, but it ain't no place for me. You know. So he's telling you, for what I love, it ain't enough for me to be. You know what I mean? It's a good tune. Um, nature is the tonic of disease. Okay, nature cures disease. You know, when people sit there and say, you know, the next great disease that's going to kill us all is somewhere dormant in the rainforest because we're going to come tear up the rainforest, and then nature is going to counterbalance that and help restore the rainforest by killing the people that destroy the rainforest. Okay, it's just the dynamic. If you find balance in nature, you'll have less of that happening. Okay, but you got to learn to let your forest and your meadows work together. You know, use more hemp for products and replace that as opposed to cutting down your forest and using trees because trees provide better oxygen. Hemp provides oxygen and is a faster, more cultivated crop for that stuff. Very usable product. The Declaration, the Constitution is written on cannabis, folks. Okay? Yeah, so I love this song too. It's a damn good song. Oh, just you hear that? Tonino on the guitar right at the beginning. That just high bass. Good shit. Oh, I love this song. It's an amazingly good song. Oh, it's beautiful. It's about singing praises to the Father who showed us the way to faith in God. Ay, It's beautiful. Viento del Arena. It's like the arena of life. It's a beautiful song. God, I love this song. But we were going to expand further on that Calvinist sexuality. Okay, I'm not advocating the argument of Calvin that would kill my brother-in-law if he went back in time to Geneva for teaching sexuality like a homosexual in 1930s Berlin. Okay, sex is a form of communication, but it's also it's mostly sex is there for reproduction. Okay, otherwise it serves no other purpose for its stimulation in order for the components to provide a molecular life source of similar creation. Okay? So, sex is for reproduction. It is a form of communication and also a form of mutual protection, of bonding and pair bonding. Now, that being said, sodomy is wrong. It causes sexually transmitted disease. It causes diseases that break down the immune system and kill each other because of too much toxins through sexual intercourse, which is unhealthy, like introducing yourself to too many sexual partners that are not very good at having, if they have an efficient immune system, but they're very disgusting, and then you have somebody who's from a more pampered lifestyle that doesn't have an effective immune system, and you have sex with them after having sex with a mega slut, and have sex with your wife, and it could kill her. My Yolanda had asthma and other kind of health allergies and stuff, and if I slept with other girls when I was in the service, even if I wore a condom, there's a possibility that I could get some kind of a sexual transmitted, uh, um, just a sexually transmitted part of my immune system that I could resist, but could kill Yolanda because Yolanda was asthmatic and allergic and very much more from pampered society that couldn't cope with the DNA that I can cope with. So I can go have sex with girls that typhoid Mary, and I'll be like the girl, like from Angela's Ashes, when the guy has the sex with the rich girl that has the consumption, and he's worried it's going to kill him, but he's poor and it doesn't kill him, but she's dying because she doesn't have the immune system to withstand the consumption, but he does. And so he's worried because she just wants to have sex before she dies. He has sex with her before she dies so she can enjoy sex before she dies because she was too young. She was like 14, 15 or whatever. He was 14 or 15. And he goes, she had the consumption, but I didn't care. I had sex with her anyway because she wanted to have sex, and so I did. And he was worried, but he didn't get it because he was poor. And he lived in more disgusting conditions, so he could resist. He had immunities to it. She didn't. but then he would carry the stuff for the consumption. So if he went and had sex with another rich girl who wasn't exposed to the disease, he would kill her. Do you understand? That's why I would always tell Law, that's why I don't sleep around on you, because I, even though I use a condom, if I do certain things that might put the disease and sit in there in my system for a while, and I have an immunity to it and you don't, I could kill you in the future. She didn't care. She would just wear a condom, don't worry about it, okay, because she was out being promiscuous. I'm not a promiscuous person because sex is a form of mutual regard and protection, okay? It's a covenant, it's a protection. It's practicing being married. I bought her my ring. I was just going to have sex with her the rest of my life, okay? And that's how I am. Now, that being said also, you have to protect your lover, be you male and male or female and female. It says so in the book of Leviticus. Sodomy is wrong. Sodomy will kill you and your lover. Avoid it. Lesbian women do not commit sodomy, okay? They have the lowest rate of sexually transmitted diseases. Homosexual women have a lower rate of sexually transmitted diseases than heterosexual males and females. Heterosexual women have more sexually transmitted diseases than homosexual women. Homosexual men have more sexually transmitted diseases than heterosexual men and women, because a lot of them, a large percentage of them, engage in sodomy, which is why it says it's wrong to do in the Bible and in the Quran. It's just a scientific. When Moses says it, he's a religious fanatic. When Richard Dawkins says it, he's the gospel of the BBC. Okay, you understand? Okay, so you got to pull your heads out of your self-righteous, scientific, obnoxious, arrogant asses. Okay? There's nothing wrong with being a homosexual as long as you're monogamous and you have a mutually beneficial, protecting relationship. Okay? And that's just based on science, observation, analysis, and processing. In a time of expedient, destructive, exponential growth, two homosexuals that decide to spend their life together in love and be Uncle Steve and Uncle Dave and Aunt Sally and Aunt Sue are good ladies and good men. Okay, you're not going to catch a homosexual disease from them. Okay, my nephew's homosexual. I didn't catch the disease. Okay, my ex-wife was homosexual. I am a lesbian. Okay, no, that joke with that guy at the Apollo. He's sitting there and he said, I went to a club the other night and I walked up to a woman and I tried to start hitting on her, and she sat there and she told me, and she gave me this self-righteous, indignation look or whatever and stuff, and looked at me and she said, you're barking up the wrong tree, buddy. She's like, what? She goes, I am a lesbian. A what? A lesbian? Oh, you act? What's the... No. She goes, I am attracted to, and I like to have sex with women. He said, then I started crying, and then she started being nice to me. She said, what's wrong? I said, oh my God, all this time I didn't know it. I'm a lesbian too. Funny. Very funny. Okay. Very hilarious. Okay. I think it was Mike Epps. I'm not sure, but it was funny. But guys, okay? The sin of homosexuality is not what you think it is. It's sodomy, which is abuse, and it happens all the time in prison. It's homosexual incestual abuse. Incestual abuse is taking your child and not letting them maturate and decide who they want to have sex with and forcing your will on them. That's incestual abuse. Homosexual abuse is what happens in cell block 9 it happens also in female prisons. They force women that don't want to have sex with other women to have sex with women. Okay? So incestual abuse happens in our penitentiary system, as homosexual abuse happens in our penitentiary system all the time. And it's because they are not given any sexual access to people that they can have sex with, of opposite sex, because they're in a controlled situation, maybe because they couldn't adhere to laws in society not to offend on other people, and so they're being punished. But then they get punished in prison by homosexual abuse because we don't send them there for rehabilitation. We send them there to be punished. Okay? I'll be back, y'all.